What's up guys, I am BlackOpsAmazing. Welcome back to another Zombies Questions, where today I take your questions from the comment section below about the storyline, Easter eggs, anything that you want to ask to do with zombies, and answer them. If you enjoyed today's video, as always, a like rating anytime you feel like it would be very much appreciated. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content on the channel, and also click that little bell notification icon as well, because sometimes the subscriptions don't seem to work. But if there's anything you want to know, be sure to leave your questions in the comment section below. I'll try my best to answer them in a future video. But for now, hopefully you enjoy this one, and let's get straight into it. So the first question of today comes from Nuketown 7802, and he says, hey, BOA, in Black Ops 1, why doesn't Dr. Monty show himself, or help more, like, I don't know, destroying the corruption from the universes? So we know that during this time of Black Ops 1, Dr. Monty wasn't officially introduced to us. He wasn't a part of our zombie storyline in Black Ops 1. He first got involved and we had our first hint towards him in Black Ops 2 Origins, but then never officially heard anything from him until Karovi Black Ops 3. There was a long distance of clues that we had until we finally met Dr. Monty. But we know that Dr. Monty isn't a new character in the story. Yes, he was recently introduced to us, but he's been involved in this story since the very beginning, way before Richtof and Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey were even here. But obviously during Black Ops 1, he wasn't a part of the game yet, and so Treyarch during that time wouldn't have been able to implement anything that he can do into the game. But that's not really an excuse, because what we do know is that during Black Ops 1, Dr. Monty was in the storyline. He was just watching from a side. He was helping Richtof and Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey along through the maps that they went to: Derice, Kino del Toten, Shinonuma, Ascension, Call of the Dead, and Moon. Dr. Monty was there all that time, helping them, giving them the mystery box, the perk machines, the chalk drawings on the walls. If Dr. Monty was giving the characters all of those things, or actually I think the question should be, why was Dr. Monty giving them all those things? Why was Dr. Monty helping Richtofen along with his grand scheme? Richtofen in Black Ops 1 was evil. He had a plan to take over the zombies and get rid of Maxis and Samantha. Why didn't Dr. Monty stop Richtofen from doing that? In a way, I guess you could say he helped him. He gave Richtofen and the Ultimus crew weapons, the perks, and things like that to assist them on their journey. Surely Dr. Monty, this godly figure, would have known exactly what Richtofen was up to. He would have seen that Richtofen attempted to kill Maxis and Samantha, that he wants to take control of the zombies, that he's doing evil things throughout these maps in Black Ops 1. So why then, if Dr. Monty is supposed to be this good, godly figure, why didn't he stop Richtofen? I think that should be the question, and that's really interesting, because actually a lot of things that Dr. Monty's done throughout our storyline are questionable. He comes across as this good character, and we think he is this good character. He's the good one, he has gotten. The Shadow Man is the bad one, the devil. Why didn't Dr. Monty stop him from doing that? Or at least, why did he assist? We do know at that time during Black Ops 1 that Dr. Monty didn't want to get involved in the storyline, so he just sat back on the sides, just giving us little nudges. But why would he do that if Richtofen was doing something evil? For me, that's a little bit weird. Unless Dr. Monty wanted that to happen. But getting back to what you originally asked me, why didn't Dr. Monty show himself in Black Ops 1, or why didn't he destroy the corrupt universes? Well, he wanted to stay on the side. He didn't want to become involved in our storyline, but why he didn't do something to stop this and instead assisted, I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think about that one in the comment section below. Craig Richards says, can you do the story of the Furies on Revelations? So if you didn't know, simply the Furies are just another apothecant, just like the Margwas, the Meatballs, the Parasites. The Furies, just like all of them, are apothecants. It's just that we only see them in Revelations and not Shadows of Evil or other maps that we've seen the other apothecants in. The Furies have the exact same story, the same background as the other apothecants. They were once keepers in the ether, when one day their minds became corrupted by the dark ether, turning the keepers into corrupted keepers. And then a war waged out in Argotha between the corrupted and uncorrupted keepers. In the end, the good keepers won. The corrupted keepers were banished back to the dark ether, and when they were banished there, over time they slowly began to morph, they began to contort and change, so much that one day they didn't resemble anything of their former keeper selves. As I said, some gained tentacles, 3 heads, wings, and in this case, some of them ended up looking like the Furies. So that's exactly what the Furies are. They're just apothicons. The next question from Kaya says, BOA. I have been asking for so long, please answer. What does the ray gun use for ammunition? I really need to know. I don't know why you really need to know. Are you planning on building the ray gun? Are you planning on building a made-up weapon? Please answer, you're awesome. So, I have done on this channel a full story video of the ray gun, its background, who made it, how it was made. So if you want a full video on it, I will link that down in the description. If I can remember, I always forget. But if I do forget, just search it on the channel. Just put the story of the ray gun. So the ammunition that the ray gun uses are atomic cold cells. Basically batteries, and as you see, it fires out plasma rays. So I mean that's it. There's nothing else I can tell you for that one. Atomic cold cells, these little batteries things here, yeah. Okay. The next question from the homie Chris says, BOA, in Nuketown, why can you hear the bus from Tranzit? Now this is something I'm not 100% sure about, and I think it's a little bit weird because Nuketown takes place in Nevada. Tranzit takes place in Hanford, Washington. If I just put those 2 locations in on Google Maps, obviously there's different routes you could take, but Nevada and Washington, it says on here, are about 16 to 17 hours away from each other, around about 900 miles. So you're telling me that the Tranzit bus has travelled all the way from Nevada to Washington? You can hear, and I think it's about round 4 or 5, the Tranzit bus beeps its horn. Now we don't see it, but we do hear it. It's obviously a reference and Easter egg to the Tranzit bus. But as I said, why would the Tranzit bus be in Nevada when the location of Tranzit is Hanford, Washington? It's so far away. Plus, don't forget that the world is destroyed, so there probably wouldn't even be a viable route that this bus could take to get from Nevada to Washington. If we take a look at the timelines of both Nuketown and Green Run, Nuketown Zombies takes place on October the 13th of 2025, and Green Run takes place 1 week later on October the 21st. So I mean, it is possible that the Tranzit bus could have got back to Washington from Nevada, especially with a week. But again, it's still really weird. Obviously, we know in Nuketown, Malton is trapped in the bunker, and the bus doesn't pick him up from here because the first time that Malton gets on the bus is along with Misty when they are both at the diner in Washington. So there's a few questions here that don't make sense. First off, how on earth did Malton get all the way to Washington in a week when he was trapped in a bunker? How did he get there because he didn't take the Tranzit bus? And then second off, what was the Tranzit bus even doing down here in Nevada? Anyway, it's possible that RUSSMAN could have been riding it. As we know, he worked at Broken Arrow. More than likely, RUSSMAN, possibly along with Stuhlinger, is riding the Tranzit bus when we hear it beep its horn in Nuketown, because as we know, RUSSMAN stole the Tranzit bus from the Broken Arrow facility when it set alight. He stole the bus, he then drove around where he found Stuhlinger, he picked up Stuhlinger, and then drove to Hanford, Washington, where they picked up Malton and Misty from the diner, and then went to the bus depot in Tranzit. It's a little bit weird. I mean, there is a big-ish time frame that things could fit in, but I don't see any reason why Malton should be in Nuketown and why the bus should be in Nuketown. I don't know, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Actually, thinking about it now, we know that the Tranzit bus comes from a Broken Arrow facility, and we know that in Nevada, there was a Broken Arrow facility that blew up. The drill here near Nuketown blew up and caused this massive mushroom cloud, which means there was a Broken Arrow facility near Nuketown, and we know that the Tranzit bus comes from a Broken Arrow facility. It crashed into the facility, and that's where RUSSMAN stole it from. So more than likely, originally this Tranzit bus comes from Nuketown, and then RUSSMAN drove it to Tranzit. Yerboy says, what would happen if Richtofen never took the summoning key? And the simple answer is, all of the maps that took place in Black Ops 3 with our premise characters after Shadows of Evil, so that's the Giant, Darius and Draka, Zetsubo Noshima, Gorod Kurovi, and Revelations, they wouldn't have been possible. If Richtofen never took the summoning key out of the Keeper's hands in Shadows of Evil, then who knows what would have happened. The summoning key was created by the Keepers in the first place. They knew in Shadows of Evil, or I would think they would have known since they were watching, the Keepers in Shadows of Evil would have known that the Shadow Man was trapped inside of the summoning key. So if they kept it and Richtofen never took it off them, maybe there would never be a problem. Or maybe there would. We really can't predict the future. We We do know if Richtofen never took the summoning key though, he wouldn't be able to collect the souls, which means the children wouldn't be in the house. It would also mean that the Ultimus version of Richtofen and the Giant, along with the Ultimus version of Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey, would probably go on to wreak havoc just like they did in the original timeline. So if Richtofen never took the summoning key, then maybe nothing would ever change from the original timeline. I don't know, it's kind of hard to say, but there we have it. That is it for today's video. Hopefully you have all enjoyed. If you have, as always, a like rating would be very much appreciated. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest zombies content on the channel. Also click the little bell notification icon as well. If there's any questions that you have on zombies, we are coming to the end of this series. It will be finishing when World War II releases, and there's not many more questions to answer, but any interesting, really intriguing ones that you guys could ask me, they're pretty much the ones that I'm answering right now. Not the simpler ones, as I think I've done all of them, but there we go. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.